we got some Jordan 4s to look at. The Air Jordan 4 Retro. Now this is that undefeated colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. These videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes. So if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this sneaker does come in this all gray box here. Now smack dead up top, you do have this 20-year anniversary branding here. Now it does have the undefeated logo here in black, but above it you do see the red Jordan Jumpman logo there. Now it is kind of glossed out depending on how you're looking at it. If you do a 360 around the box, now it is all gray. The bottom portion of the box doesn't really have too much going on. I do hate that they kind of like, butcher my box, but it is what it is. But you do have the hit of light gray, kind of silver going throughout the entire bottom. Over on this side, you do have some Nike branding and copyright information here in black. Other than that, nothing else too much there to notate. But for those that do care about that, there you go. Now the box label on the sneaker does read Air Jordan 4 Retro OG SP. The colorway says deep green and then black. Now when you do open the box, now it is a swing box lid situation. Now up underneath, they did give us like that hit of white. I don't see like any stamps or anything like that to notate. But once you open the box, you are met with this white wax paper here. Now the paper does have like, some undefeated branding and Jordan logos here. The sneaker did come double wrapped. Once you move this wax paper out the way, you are met with more of this white wax paper. And then you are met with the actual sneaker itself. This sneaker will be one of those exclusives that's going to be hard to get, and it's going to be extremely limited. So definitely glad that I got my pair. Inside the box, they did give us this, your white and green sticker there. Moving the box out the way, just trying to focus on the sneaker here. Pretty dope sneaker. I do like the concept. I do love the colorway. This is actually a retro. I do have one of the pairs of the original undefeated somewhere in here. I could not find the box, so I wasn't gonna get, start digging. Not gonna take too long on this one. Let's jump right into it. And again, this is that Air Jordan 4 Retro. Again, this is that undefeated 2025 colorway. So we're going to take a look at the right sneaker like we always do. Now from first observation, the sneaker does look like what you would expect from like any other Air Jordan 4. On the lateral side of the sneaker, smack dead in the middle, you do have this kind of green ribbed netting material. Up underneath, you do have the hit there of the nylon mesh material. They did give us this triangular wing here on the rear, and that is standard with most Air Jordan 4s. But the black here, it does appear to be like, glossed out. They do have like, some green stitching up underneath there. They did give us these black lace crown here for the laces. Green hits throughout the entire upper portion, and that nubuck material, green stitching is consistent throughout the entire sneaker. The sock liner of the sneaker, they did give us like, this hit of gray. The midsole of the sneaker, they did give us this hit of black here. Then going towards the back, they did give us that hit of like, that self cream color. And you do have your cutout there to see the other side. And of course you can see like the orange hit on the inside there. They did kind of give us this black rubber material, kind of like streaming up from like the outsole. And that's pretty much it to notate over on this side. Switching gears, going to the front toe box area of the sneaker. Now you are met with more of that green nubuck material, and it is like, transitional. Definitely, great quality sneaker. They did give us this hit of green here for the mud guard situation here, and you do have your widow's peak there. The upper portion of the toe box area, you do have more of that green ribbed material there. Up underneath, you do have that hit of green there and that nylon mesh material. Now this rib material does go up about 3/4 of the tongue, But above it, you do have the hit of these flat black laces here. These are the laces that did come like, you know, with the sneaker, and they did give us like a secondary lace option here. The laces do come in like, you know, this cardboard box here, and it does have like, you know, the orange laces on the inside. The upper portion of the tongue, you do have this hit of green. Now they do have like this Velcro kind of like, you know, tag here. Now the outer tag here, it does have like, you know, that hit of black, and you do have the orange Jordan Jumpman logo with the Flight branding. But once you move this tag out the way, you do have like this hit of like, you know, green, and it does say like the Jordan Rare Air there. Me personally, I know like some people like to wear it without it, but to me, I do feel like I do like keeping the Velcro tag on, but to each its own. The back of the tongue, they did give us like, you know, this hit of orange. Now one thing they did switch up, typically on the back tag, they do have like the Air Jordan text, but this time they gave us the black tag, but they switched it up and gave us like that text there that does say Undefeated in white. On the inside of the sneaker, the insole, I'm not going to pull it out, but they did give us this orange insole there, and it does have the black Undefeated branding on the inside. Pretty solid touch there. The medial side of the sneaker consistent with like the lateral side, so you do have this triangular wing here in black that is glossed out. You do have the black lace crowns here. You do have more of that green kind of like, you know, rib netting material with the nylon mesh showing up underneath. And then from there, you are met with more of that green nubuck. The outsole of the sneaker, again, they did give us like, you know, that hit of like sail. And of course, you do have your bubble there showing over to the other side. The rear of the sneaker, it is all black. Now this time around, on the original pair of the Undefeateds, they actually gave us like, you know, the Jordan logo there, the Jordan branding. This time they switched things up and they actually gave us this hit of black here, and it is glossed out, but you do have the Nike Air branding here for the pull tab. The pull tab is all black. You do have some black stitching showing here. You do have more of this green nubuck here with the green stitching here on the back. More of that off-white sail here for the outsole with the hit of black showing up underneath. Now the bottom portion of the sneaker, it does have your standard Air Jordan 4 traction. Nothing too different here. It's just that this time around they gave us the hit of the herringbone traction in all black. But on top you do have this hit of orange. And then if you look closer, you do have the orange Nike brand in there on this one. The left sneaker is consistent with the right. Everything is the same on this one, but they did switch up two things on this one. So they did give us this black tag here, and it is like, you know, in this hard kind of plastic. You do have the Undefeated brand in there, and that is kind of like, you know, clear see-through, and you do have the orange Jordan Jumpman logo. And then on the inside, on the insole, they gave us the hit of orange, but on this one, you do have the Nike Air branding. Excellent sneaker on this one, man. As far as like, you know, if I were to rate this sneaker, I would definitely give this one a solid 10 out of 10, man. I do like the Undefeated Rare Air sneakers that the Jordan brand have released over time, even like the black, it was like black, red, and blue. There was another pair that's coming out this year. I thought that one was dope as well, and it does have like the Velcro lights on. Yeah, man, solid concept, 10 out of 10. As far as like comfort and size, and the sneaker does fit just like any other Air Jordan 4. For me, that is true to size. Now, I don't recommend going up or down to half size on your Jordan 4s, but just know that Air Jordan 4s do have this slope, so it is kind of rough on your pinky toe. I wouldn't recommend going up or down like a half size to kind of alleviate that at all. Just stick to what you know. It will get more comfortable and break in over time. And that's pretty much it, but I definitely want to take time to shout out the vendor who actually get the sneaker to review on the channel for you guys. But I do encourage you guys to stay engaged like always. I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm gonna hit you guys with a 360 in the B-roll like I always do. But yeah, there you go. Air Jordan 4 Retro. Now again, this is that Undefeated colorway. So we are going to take a look at the front of the sneaker. There's the lateral side of the right, lateral side of the left. There's the bottom. There's the medial side. And then there's the rear. I'm trying to look, is this gray or is it green? It's gray, it just look kind of green to me. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't give y'all the wrong information on these. But yeah, man, I definitely thank you guys for taking the time to tap in and tune in like always. But until next time, see you later.